I'm just going to show you how to put an order in OrderPro. So you go to orderpro.ubah.com, you put in your login information, then you put new order, and then you put in your hostess's name. This is just a hostess I have right now. Then I'm just going to put my address right now because it's just an example. I'll go back and fix it to hers later. And then and you can always edit this and go back and forth. Then you also need a phone number because it won't ship without a phone number. You can put an email address if you want. You only check this if the hostess is becoming a consultant at a home party. So if your hostess decides she wants to be a consultant at a Facebook party, you do something else. You don't click that. After you put in your zip code, it will calculate the tax rate. So in Idaho, it's only 6%, which is nice. Then you want to come down to, so you don't have to do anything with that, but you come down to ship to and you hit hostess/organization, because if it's one of your hostess's parties, you don't want her books coming to you because then you'll have to ship them to her and that would just be a lot of money. So then you do next step to order type and you put in your hostess's name. That's what I do anyway. You don't do anything with that. The order type is always a home party, even if it's a Facebook party. These are other things for us, but this is just for home parties and Facebook parties. Then you put in the party date, which it was last week. And then you check if hostess booked within 3 weeks for special date credit. That will give them an extra $5 in free books. And then if you're in your incentive period, you'll have another thing here and it will say check if you want to use double hostess rewards or something. And you do want that checked because that is always better than our monthly hostess special. So then you do next step, and this is where you get to select the books. So what I like to do is I always change the display binding to show all, because right now it's just paperback and hardback. This is just library, paperback, hardback, but I do show all because then it shows all of the different bindings. So if you have a hostess that wants a library bound book, it should say L right here. So you want to pay attention to the binding. Then let's say I want to add nibbles. She wanted nibbles. Oh, sorry, forgot a whole step. So a Facebook party, you click combine e-show and your parties will show up from your e-commerce site. So this is my hostess, so I'm going to select hers. And so now it says total retail sales and includes e-show. So then her free books allowance will show up in here. This is the type of selection. Here that she gets $115 in free books. So let's say she wanted nibbles, because you'll have a wish list hopefully from her. So then I go here, this is the title, and you scroll down, here's nibbles. So then you would add it and it will automatically subtract how much she already chose. If you have a home party, all of the order forms, all of the books that are chosen, you put in as full retail. So you combine them all together, all the orders. You put them all in as full retail, and that will get your hostess her rewards. Then you can put in your hostess rewards. So I showed you the free books. Hostess incentive books are incentives that you might offer your hostess. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but once I got out of my incentive period, this really helped. So you can say, hey, if you book a party with me in February, I will give you a free new title of your choice. So let's say they wanted first questions and answers. And so then I would go in here and I would add that. Let's see, where is it? Okay, let's just say first 1,000 words in Spanish. Then so you would add that. So then what I do right away is even before I'm done selecting all of the books, I go to the summary to see how much I owe because I want to put my payment in before I put in her payment information. So you go down to step 4. This whole thing is really confusing, so don't dwell on it too much. But I go to step 4, hostess books, booking specials, etc. So that book that she wanted was $12.99, so I only owe $4.55 because we get 65% off. So then I would go and I would automatically skip to payment and I would put in my payment for $4.55 so I don't have to forget about it later. So you come down here to customer payments or credits and I do add a new customer payment. And then when it pops up, I would put in $4.55 and all of my information. So then what that does, it will subtract from what she owes. So then my $4.55 will be here, and so then I would tell her this is how much she owes. You could also put in this information, but then you'd have to do math in your head. So there's that. So then now I'm going to go back to select books, and so select all of, so then I showed you, sorry, the free books, the hostess incentive books. You could also say if you want it, if you get 25 yes RSVPs, I'll give you 100 things for little children to do on a trip or whatever. You can often offer more than one incentive, but you can only offer up to $25. So, and then if you offer too much, that's just going to eat into your commission, so I wouldn't recommend it. The bonus gift is if your hostess gets 3 parties booked from her party. 3. So this is a really big deal. It's any item or collection for 65% off, so they would only pay $35. Which I also heard the bonus is also maybe we were supposed to pay the 35%. So I have to be honest, I'm not 100% clear on that, but to be honest, also, it's not common to have 3 parties booked, which would be totally awesome. So we can cross that bridge when we get there. Half price books are, she got $75, so they can pick as many or as little as they want for that and only pay half price plus shipping and tax. Booking special is if they get 1 or 2. Facebook parties are a little tricky because you can only offer the booking special once per hostess. So if they get 1 party booked, they can get this. It's $20 in books for $5. Basically, only have to pay 25%. If they get 2 parties booked, we can only offer it once. So you can only offer it once. So customer specials, you can only offer if they have $40 full retail. So if it's a home party and all your people spent a bunch of money, then all of those customer specials will show up for them. So you select all their customer specials too. Does that make sense? These other things are for us that we can talk about later when the time comes. But that is how you enter in the orders. Also, if you're looking for something you can't find it by title, you can do search by. And I like to do by search by title. You can also do search by ISBN. And then I always do contains if I'm, looking for something. Let's say I want to find first questions and answer, lift the flap. I would just search by questions. And then all of the titles that have questions and answers will pop up. So then I can add it that way too. So that is how you select the book. So once you're done selecting all of the books, you can go to next step, and that will just be the summary, which don't dwell on that too much because it's really confusing, but it will break it down. There's a $2 award. Oh, that's recruiting. Sorry, there's a $2 hostess fee. That way we don't have to tax them on all of their free books. And then the booking specials and bonus gifts and all those things will all show up in here. That's why I like to go and do that payment first, because otherwise that will add all of that in there, if that makes sense. Then you go to payment, and you will add in, if it's a Facebook party, you add in your hostess's payment. So that will have how much you paid, and this is how much she'll still need to pay. So then you add a new customer payment and you get her credit card information from her. I either do over the phone or I'll do half messenger, half text message, however she feels safest doing it. So you add her payment and then you do a final review. If it's a home party, you add in all of the credit card payments. You just keep adding a new customer payment until this is 0, if that makes sense. Because you'll need your hostess, all of their payments and the hostess payment, I guess. So then you go to final review once you get all of that in, and it will tell you everything. It'll check for your mistakes, which is really nice. But what I like to do before I close out, I always go back to select books and then I make sure that I didn't forget anything, because it's just a really big pain. If you did forget something, or if you put in the wrong binding, you want to pay attention. If they ordered a library bound book, you don't want to get them paperback or hardback, because then you're going to have to fix it. So that is how you do orders in OrderPro. Let me know if you have any questions.